you find yourself in a rather dark and rather dismal crypt. The crypt has been defiled. The owners of the crypt that live above in the chapel, the cathedral above in the town of Ostenwald, were a little bit frustrated because one of their groundskeepers had been going down there, claiming that his wife was there, claiming that his lost wife, who had been missing, who had been searching, he had been searching for it for a long time, but had decided that, yes, indeed, the wife was down below. So he has been searching the crypt, but in doing so, I think brought about some of the ne'er-do-wells of the area, and tomb raiders, crypt raiders broke in and left this poor groundsman in a terrible state, unconscious on the pews of the church as you arrived. The crypt raiders managed to make their escape off into the hills and brought about the possibility of a chase, but you decided to investigate the crypt straight off, and down you went into the depths, covered in slime, covered in goo, covered in blood, even with bits of spiders with goblin heads on them. Goblin spiders? Lovely. Absolutely terrific. Now, we are playing an evil campaign, but we're also playing a campaign that has making use of the optional D&D Sanity Roll. Which, if you remember, resulted in Turnereth in the previous incarnations and previous one-shots that we've done with these characters. Roll on a table, I think, and discover that he was in fact the greatest magic user that the world has ever known. That I was trying to remember. Is that how it came about?
What do you mean discovered?
Yeah, and I think you'll find it was the greatest living being of all time.
Right. It is the long-term madness from the DMG that you believe you are the strongest, fastest, most intelligent, wisest. Essentially, you believe you are the best at everything.
So we have one cropper already to the sanity rolls, which has been fun.
I don't know what you mean. I'm the sanest dragonborn ever to live.
So yeah, we find ourselves in this little crypt that you see on the screen, and it's unlike the other parts of. It's unlike the other parts of the place. It's very much old, ancient, untouched. And in there were a couple of particularly nasty beasts that descended upon you, hidden in the stone as they were. And you plundered the place, and you made yourself some plunder, I think you took, and decided that it was altogether quite a nasty place, and that you were going to continue to explore and find out what the hell's going on, because of course you have been sent by the Secrets of Righteous to discover what this unknown power source is that's been emanating, and whether you were told everything, you were just kind of pointed in the direction and given some rather spurious clues. So you don't really know what you're looking for as such, but you reckon you're in the right place. And so it is that we find you've just dealt with these terrible creatures that are lying on the floor in pieces in front of you, and you're wondering what to do next. So I will hand over to you. What are you going to do? You're muted.
We plundered some loot, but we really didn't discover anything of. There was no evidence of anything apart from being bad things in here. There wasn't no evidence of his wife and son. There was no evidence of him being down here.
No, that's right.
The only evidence we've got, somebody gaping.
Somebody hit the fella over the head and ran off to some tower, wasn't it? Was it the East Watchtower or something?
Did we manage? I can't recall. Did we manage to sort of identify how far he obviously hadn't come this far in the crypt?
You had to find a secret door that was covered up by a stone-like curtain, such exquisite carving from stonework that had covered this particular secret passage. It looked like it hadn't been disturbed for a very long time. And you get the sense that you were the first people down here. And that's why this place is just long hidden from eyes. You haven't been... this is new. This is something different, and it's also a dead end. At least, that's what you've ascertained while you were down here and searching around.
So, if there was anything here of we take, like people that have run off.
Yeah, nobody. This is what you found while you were down here.
That name, Zara Algrist, is that familiar to us? For some reason, it's familiar to me. I don't know.
It's familiar to me from something outside of this campaign. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my notes from parts 1 and 2.
Would any of us know it? Would any of us have a history of it?
Can we
I'll
open
have that
box?
question because I know I recognise it from something outside of this campaign.
Yeah.
I would say that there is a chance that one of you might remember something,
Is it a
possibly.
religious thing? I do. Is it in the crypt? I'll do a religion check on it.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh. 10.
Most of this crypt has been devoted to the wars. The people who are buried here are generally who have been entombed here at the Everlight Church. You saw the god generals, Thanir and Tutus, flanking at the entrance. So the fallen heroes of the Attack of Regrets, I think that's what Saul got. I think he remembered that there was a sort of elements of that. So most of the bodies that are in here in the tombs are fallen heroes. So there's every chance that Ern Blackfoot is a hero of the Attack of Regrets, the war that happened not so long ago.
When further back up the corridor, the floor gave way, didn't it? We didn't stop to look down, did we?
It was a pit. Yeah, I think you might have. Just... Yeah. Speaking of that, you hear a voice echoing down the corridors. Now, bear in mind that you're quite far away, and as you're kind of looking at the stuff that you've picked up and you're giving it a once over, you hear the murmuring of at least two voices coming from somewhere outside the room that you're in.
Human?
Yes, or well, not spiders anyway.
I mean, it's not goblins.
Not goblin, yeah. I mean, you can't quite make it out, but it sounds of a cadence that might be.
Can we tell what they're saying?
As you listen, give me a perception roll, and we'll see if you make it out any more detail. It sounds quite far away. Yes. Okay.
17.
You hear a voice. The words that you make out, they're getting louder as you stand and try and listen to what's happening. They're getting louder as you also hear scuffling, and there's a voice. It's, get off! Just get off me! Off! Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off! Leave me! Leave me! Leave me! Leave me alone! I'm going! Just go away! And the voice is getting louder as you hear it. There's clearly an altercation somewhere. But you
hear the voices, I quickly bag up all the loot.
Yeah. And then you also hear a female voice as well as the minutes go on. You can't get past there. Look, there's a hole in the ground. You can hear this kind of echoing through. And you're just getting wafts of these conversations because it's still very echoey and boomy.
So I'm going to head back out down the corridor from which we came.
Mm-hmm.
I'm figuring that it's coming from the direction that we came in. So they're standing at the other side of the pit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk out while Elizabeth is gathering all stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stand on the other side of the pit and look across at them.
Okay, so if you want to just drag your token round, then that'll light up the area for everybody at home.
Can't remember which way I came from.
You're at the bottom.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Go.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Got it. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And there,
on the opposite side of the pit.
Yeah,
Who
there
are
you see. You see an old man, and behind him you see one of the sisters of the Church of the Everlight, and she's trying to grab hold of this guy, and you can see that despite the fact he looks very frail, he is no doubt strong, but he has a gash right across his head.
Is he the guy that they were tending to? Sure.
Yes. This is Martin's. Right. This is Martin's. You're witnessing. He's wearing raggedy clothes, a befit of someone who's been beaten up, but otherwise, even if he hadn't been beaten up, probably would look like he'd been dragged through a bush backwards. His hair receding, his white hair, but wiry, very strong looking, and he's preparing to jump over the pit.
You might want to reconsider that.
He looks up and says, "Well, don't just stand there. Give me a hand over. I have to see my wife."
She's not here.
She is here. Of course she's here.
There's nothing here but spiders.
Captain, let him through. Whatever he was looking for is maybe what we're looking for.
I come out with some furniture to put over the. I hear what's going on. I grab some of this broken furniture and throw it out the door so they can. Yeah. So they can maybe build a temporary bridge or something over it.
Well, I can hold my glaive out as well, so they can hang on to that.
Yeah.
So hold on the sharp end.
Hold out, jump onto the pointy end over the stick.
And so, that's the whole map that I just moved. Hang on a minute. Let me just undo that.
The world is shaking.
And so, you help over, and he is absolutely frail. When he jumps over and you maybe reach out to steady him, or he it's just, although he looks every bit, there's not an inch of fat on him and it's all muscle, he just looks absolutely exhausted. Like, he just looks like he's barely holding himself in. And the sister of the church, she stands there and just looks and says, "Will you just be careful. I'm going to get..." And then she just kind of mumbles her way off and disappears back up the stairs again, looking kind of disgusted and shaking her head. But clearly she wasn't able to get this guy back upstairs, and now she's going to go and report some whatever's going on. So she walks out. So you're standing there with old Mr. Mertens just looking at you. Well, are you just going to stand there, boy?
Were the spiders here when you last came down?
Spiders? Yes, of course. Old. Very old, this tomb. Very old. And he looks round the corner. He kind of peers past you. And he looks at the spiders that are next to Turnroth. And he suddenly recoils. Not like that. Oh, those Tomb Raiders have unsettled something. They've poked around in places they shouldn't have. How? If my wife is hurt, I will find them and I will wring the very life from their blood and brains, and I will spit on them and dance on their fallen corpse. And he kind of looks round the corner. What on earth are those? And he tries to get past you. Do you let him pass?
Is he heading down? Is he heading down? Is he trying to get past to where we just were in that?
I mean, so far he's stopped to look at. So far he's just stopped at the Turnroth's feet. And
I mean, Shedden has suggested that we let him through. It seems like a good idea. I will let him pass me.
That's why they chose me to lead.
And he stops and looks down at the goblin and he says, No, that's not right. It's not right. Look at this. Horrible. Terrible thing.
They are also dead. Continue about your business.
He looks up at you when you say that. What are you then? And he goes right up to your snout and kind of peers into your eyes.
Angry.
I just stare at him until he moves on.
Oh well, fine. And talkative, isn't he? Well, what else have those brigands disrupted? Did you kill them all? I hope you killed them all.
Well, that remains to be seen. Tell me, where is your wife? Perhaps you can show us.
I can hear her, but I've never been able to find her.
You hear her now?
That's why I woke up. I know where she is, but I can't get to her.
Well, perhaps we can help. And I'm looking at Jedin and Elizabeth, seeing if they can hear any voice. Can I hear any voice, actually?
Give me an insight roll.
No.
Anybody else would like to read this character, or if anybody else would like to listen?
I, at this point, step out the room, because I've been in. And I address this man. Sir, what is it you're doing? Is it you looking for?
There's another one of you. Where did you come from? Look at you. And he walks. He walks.
So he's going down the corridor.
If you can help me find my wife, then so be it. She's in here, I know. I just need to dig a little bit further.
Place is evil. These things around us.
That's why I have to find my wife and get her out of here.
Okay, so I'll do it insight on. Oh, natural 1.
Well, we've got Sheddin's rolled a 15.
Yeah, Sheddin. You get the sense that this guy isn't telling you everything.
I don't need him to tell me everything. I need him to lead me to where he's going. I don't care what he tells me.
So yeah, he looks up and says, "Well, let's go." And he walks.
Mr. Martins.
He walks through the door. He opens the door. Hang on. He opens the door.
Pass through a closed wall.
I just stand there banging my head on.
He opens the door and closes it behind him immediately, and then you walk right into it. And then he says, "Oh, sorry, I'll open the door again." Yeah.
Hey. I mean, it is tradition for us to have problems with doors.
Yes, Matt would love that.
Okay.
When you let the door go and then realise someone's following you.
I make sure that I am carrying my sword and my whip, and I'm obviously be right behind him. I'm listening to see if I can hear anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Like spider noises, because after what we've just witnessed.
I've dug out so much of this corridor. My wife was crying. I heard her. She came to me in my dreams. I slept here and moved out stones. I dug and dug and dug and dug, and I took out stones after stone after stone. And I would sleep down here just so I could hear her. Just so I could be close to her. Help me. And you go around, he walks down the stairs. And you hear scraping. And and then as you're standing there wondering what on earth he's doing, you see him walking back with a boulder in his hand. I have to get to her.
So, what's he doing with these?
Yeah, and he takes it out into the. Yeah, he takes it out into the hall.
Throws it down the.
Throws it down the pit. He drops it just in the hall. I'll carry these up. I just want it out. And then.
Is Elizabeth following him down, or?
Yeah, I was following him down.
Around the corner and see where he's going.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you follow down, you'll see the stairs lead down.
Oh.
And then round the corner.
Oh.
You see Martins, and he's digging away at
with his bare hands, or
with his bare hands.
Does he have
Yeah.
tools now?
He's got a shovel and stuff and a pick, but at this point in time, you just see him grabbing some stone, and he passes it to you. He passes you the stone. Says, "Well, just chuck it out the corridor then. No time to waste."
Can we hear anything? I say, can you hear her now?
And he stops for a minute. Then you see him just looking. No, but I heard her when I was upstairs. That's when I first heard her. I was in the garden.
Maybe she's gone.
No, I heard her. I came straight down. She's still stuck. I have to save her. And he basically holds out the bit of rock to you, and if you don't take it, he's just going to drop it on your foot.
Taking it, I say, "Sir."
And he just goes. He turns around and.
Pass them the rocks. Sir. We're in a production line now. Sir,
yeah, exactly.
Did your wife die?
She went missing, but I knew she wasn't dead. I had to find her, whether she was taken prisoner.
You came looking for her in a crypt, and yet you think she is still alive.
I hear her voice. Talk to me, my dear. Talk to me. I'm coming. I'm coming for you. And he hands another stone. So this kind of continues.
I'm not taking my hands out of my sleeves at all. I'm not taking stones. I'm just
So
stood
the
at the
pile-
back here watching.
There's a pile of stone just appearing.
Yeah. Elizabeth's passing it to Sol, and Sol's just kind of dropping it on the floor.
Don't have all day, Captain. Make him speed up.
I turn round to Shedin and say, could you do any quicker? Or are we going to be here all day?
If you clear the corridor, I can make it quicker. I can't
Sir,
get past all of you.
I step back and, let this gentleman do the digging for you. We might get through this quicker.
Huh? What's that pile of stone doing down there? That won't do. You'll get us all trapped. And he picks up some of the stone. He begins walking up the corridor. Anyway,
yeah, I'll help him.
I am absolutely massive in this space. I mean, Shedden's sort of my height, so in this crypt, I am massive.
Cool.
I just squeeze past Sol and Elizabeth and Martins and get to the front, get to where Martins was digging, and then I'm just going to take a claw out of my pocket, and there's a small emerald. I just drop on the floor and smash it with my foot, and I summon a lesser water elemental.
Ooh.
Okay. Nice.
This is my elemental gem, obviously.
Okay, and in this space, an absolutely ginormous, crushing, great big elemental appears, or maybe even appears twice, because that happens sometimes. It is.
They come in pairs.
Yeah, it's absolutely squashed into this space. Yeah.
They can squeeze the water elemental.
Exactly. So it kind of you see it pouring in, and it just stands in this corridor, swirling around off the walls and bouncing down by your feet. It doesn't get you wet. It just, it's just there. The water's circling and spiraling in this space, completely filling it up from floor to ceiling and from wall to wall, crashing against the boulders, and and it's just there. It's just a space.
As it starts to form, I just look up at it, at where the head element is. Just say, clear these rocks.
And as sure as...
get out of the way.
Yeah. And as sure as your command is, immediately you see bits of the smaller rock appearing around and circling inside it. And these rocks slowly get almost like a vortex, and it summons up these rocks and it moves them in and around the water. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, you can see that it can't take any more. It's trying to, but every time it picks up a rock, it just drops through it down to the bottom, and it's just hovering there with these rocks spinning around it. But a huge chunk of the rock has been taken away.
Captain's moved out of the corridor and I can no longer see.
Oh.
I did not bring a light.
I'll put myself there for you. How's that?
Thank you.
But I'm definitely headed back.
Yeah.
Into them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's noise as well of the water and the rocks crashing against the wall and crashing against each other. It's deafening.
Once it's filling up with rocks, I'll just call back down the corridor. Elizabeth, Captain, these need to be moved.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Against the wall. They need to be moved further.
Yeah, and it continues to swirl around, and it's still trying to pick them up.
Move them.
The elemental is still performing pretty much what you said it to do. These aren't very intelligent, these things. And so it's under your command, and so the rocks begin to spill out just a little bit. Yeah, there might be a better way of doing this, possibly. If you can get the water elemental to move, perhaps it might do that. But as you walk in, you reach in your hand to try and grab one of these swirling rocks, and it's not comfortable at all. You'd be quicker picking them up because it's like putting your hand inside a spinning washing machine on cycle with rocks inside it. You know, that's basically what you're asking. So you just kind of
Can you
go
not
grab
have the
it.
thing carry the rocks out the pit?
We are sort of occupying the space.
I'm
not sure.
I'm in the other room.
Some of us are still occupying the space, Captain. Elemental, bring the rocks back down the corridor.
Yeah, as soon as you say that,
walk away quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say very quickly because this thing is no longer just a water elemental. It's a kind of water carrying rock elemental. The rocks
that's
will be
elemental.
That's that's it. It will dislodge any significant force, like it hits the side of the wall and a rock pings out and ricochets down the corridor. But it comes out into the corridor, spinning and whirling, with all these rocks that are suspended in it, and then and it stands there again. It's much taller now, so it begins to take its full size. And
I'll just point down the corridor and go, leave the rocks over there.
Yeah, and it does that. It just passes directly through the pillars in the middle of the room, deposits a pile of rocks, and then it stands there again, just whirling.
It takes some time. Elemental, follow me. And I go back down the corridor and see what its progress has been.
Yeah, it's done a good job. Another load would probably suffice, you reckon, because you can actually see some different colour stone on the other side. It looks like maybe it's made some good progress. So yeah, with this water elemental doing its thing, it hoovers up, vacuums up another kind of vortex of stone, and you repeat.
I just walk through, leading it through the steps again.
Yeah, you repeat the process.
I don't move my hands at all this entire time. I just watch it and then order it to move.
Yeah, and then after it goes down for the third one, it's just as it rips apart some of the stone, as it cracks, and you can see it having difficulty. It cracks a stone, the stone cracks, and then you see a corridor on the other side, which looks like this. And then because it wasn't a seriously potent gem, that whole process has probably taken you about 10 minutes or so. And you see now that the elemental begins to spin down, and the water just at one point just as the energy
as
just
I
dissipates.
See it starting to lose that momentum, I just call out, Elemental, you are dismissed.
And then so there's just a whole bunch of water on the floor, as whatever it was that was inhabiting the water just disappears, but not more than a wetting of the flagstones that are there, and you can now get through this corridor easy enough. Old man has been sitting there. And he's been talking to himself this entire time. Every time you went past him, he was sitting in one of the alcoves and he was talking to himself. I don't know if you go and get him or what, but he's still sitting.
I'll call back to him. I'll call back to him when I've heard from Shedding. Kind of make my way down the corridor. The big fella.
Yeah, and he looks up and follows you down and says, "Oh yes. Progress. Look at what you have done. My sweet, I'm coming." And he kind of tries to barge past Shedding, but
don't make enough space for him to get past.
Yeah, okay.
Is he carrying a light, or is he just going to rush in there in the dark?
Yeah, he's rushing in the dark. He's guided by love.
Interesting.
Speaking of which, happy anniversary. Yeah.
And he runs
with your torch.
He runs down, and you hear a creaking sound, and then swearing, and then a large crumpling sound as you walk around the corner, and you see that Martin's has opened up a trapdoor in the ground. And I'm going to roll just to see if he manages to actually avoid it or not. Nah, he's fallen down.
Oh.
So he's fallen down, and he is unconscious at the bottom of the pit as you walk down.
Mr. Martin, are you alive, sir? How deep's the pit? Can I see it?
Yeah, you can see him. It's about 10 foot down. Let me roll a d6.
Imbecile.
Excellent. He has served purpose.
Appears to have succumbed to his injuries.
Onwards then. It seemed the object we are looking for is down here.
Or past here. He's fell in the hole.
You look down, and then you just hear him kind of groaning a little bit as his last breath expires.
Oh. Well, suppose he's with his wife now.
Splendid.
Ironic, really.
Crap.
Can we jump across the gap?
How far
sure.
down is the
No
gap?
problem. Yeah, it's not far. It's about 10 foot or so.
I'm going to try and clear the gap.
Yeah, easy done.
Okay.
I approach the gap, and on my knees, I sort of whisper down into the pit. Now thy lie to sleep, thy soul be free. I'm not going down there.
Well, it's almost a burial, isn't it?
I can't get to him. That's the best I can do in this unfortunate situation.
I don't think position argue or be offended by a lack of process. What's ahead of me?
A door.
I open the door.
Could I get you to make a wisdom saving throw, please?
I wonder. 12?
In front of you, you see a woman. She's beautiful. She's on the dais, sitting atop the tomb that's in the middle of the room. And she turns round and says, "My husband, you've come for me."
No, madam, I think you're confused with somebody else.
But you've come to save me. Come. Help me down.
I'm going to step into the room. I have a good look round, see if there is anybody else here. Like, there's nobody either side of the door. Step in.
No, and it's lit as well, this room.
And I'm secretly very thankful for that. Would you be the wife of Mr. Martin. I could have said, would you be Mrs. Probably.
Yeah, as you walk through, you see you see spiders' webs at the far end of the room, and inside the webs you see heads looking out. The bodies
are
looking
out,
cocooned. Their eyes open.
Are they moving?
The eyes. Yeah, give me a perception roll as you.
I kind of want to fail this.
An audience.
11.
Yeah, the heads looking out. One of them looks familiar. One of them looks awfully like Martin's. The others not so much. These are people that you don't recognize, but one of them looks very familiar. And you look over at that, and you're just like, and there's I don't know, 5 or 6 bodies strung up in these cocoons with their heads. They're wrapped up over their eyes, and they're just at their chins as well, and bound right back, but their eyes are looking out. And she says, I think please help me, help. Where is my husband?
There is a pit outside this door. Your husband lies at the bottom of
it. Bring him to me. I must see him. Bring me to him. Let me gaze upon him. Come. Help me down from here. What are the rest of you doing as Saul is having this conversation?
I'm waiting for Elizabeth. She's blocking the corridor. I'll just call forwards. Captain.
I will step forward. I jump over the pit.
Yeah, easy done.
Hole.
Could I get you to make a
wisdom saving throw?
Could you get me to? Yeah, could I get you to make a wisdom saving throw, please?
What would that be?
There's a giant dragonborn head leaning around the corner here, trying to see what's going on.
15.
Okay. You see a lady talking to Captain Saul. She's beautiful. Quite a catch for an old man like Martin's. R.I.P. In a pit.
Can I tell whether she's alive or dead?
Yeah. Give me a perception. Give me a perception check. Actually, Saul, yeah, you too, because you've been standing long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perception.
18.
Actually, wait.
What?
Are we in a graveyard?
Yes. Well, crypt.
It's
below a graveyard.
Below a graveyard, yeah.
Because I get advantage in graveyard.
I'll give you that.
How far down does the graveyard go? How deep do you have to go before it stops being a
I've
graveyard?
just seen it on my notes.
You get advantages below graveyard.
How big's the graveyard's aura? You definitely.
Wow! It's a +1, and I rolled I rolled a 16 and an 18.
Okay. Shedden, are you kind of... Do you reach forward? Do you keep moving? Do you move into the room in front of or next to Saul? Saul, have you moved forward at all?
I'm not. I'm a little bit sus, oddly enough.
Are you blocking the doorway so it's like a little,
I
conga line behind you?
I've probably stepped in a bit.
You can get forward past your allies if you need to.
Once there's room, I'll try and jump over the pit and move forwards.
Yeah. So can I get a wisdom save from you as well, please, as you move into?
Yeah. 9.
Yeah, there's a beautiful human lady sitting atop sarcophagi. As to why, you don't know, but you were looking for something. This is something.
Excellent. Someone of intelligence.
Allow me to introduce you to Mrs. Martin.
As you enter into the room, and you kind of, as you've been talking, Saul, you begin to see that there is some glamour around this individual. This individual is not what she claims to be.
Soft focus.
Yeah, and you start to see black hair appearing around her head where her blonde hair was previously. And you start to see her body taking up more space than it did when it was sitting atop.
Okay.
And also, Elizabeth, you start to see this as well. You start to see the facade just falling slightly from this siren that's atop the rocks. She isn't what she appears to be at all. In fact, she's something very different. And as you're watching, could I get also a perception check from Shedden as well?
6.
Yeah, you still think she's beautiful. That's fine.
Okay, have a taste. It's in the eye of the beholder, apparently.
Yeah. But she says, "Come, help me down, help me down." But as she says that, it's no longer her mouth that's speaking those words, but a very
mandible.
Large black mandible. The maw is clicking like this. These ginormous black and drool and saliva just dripping down.
What are you?
She is obviously a human woman, Captain. Perhaps she knows of the item we are looking for.
You are mistaken, Shedden. You are under some kind of spell. That is not human.
Excellent.
And as you say that, this enormous black creature appears in front of you as the final thrall that she had over you has been broken. She's not a spider.
Okay.
She's not a lizard. She's not an ogre or a decomposing human, but something that you cannot and must not recall. There's green light sludging out of the thing's eyes and mouth, and as its mandibles clack together, it emits an earthly howl. And it just says, "Look at me! Look at me!" And just as that happens, one of the bodies that's behind. You notice the body begins to pulsate and the eyes bulge forward, and as that happens, spiders start to pour out of the person's eyes and down and clack over the floor.
I kind of feel, judging from where we are, and Soul's state of mind, that I might need to make a sanity.
I think you all need to make a sanity roll as this happens. It's a DC 12 sanity roll, a sanity saving throw. I'd like you all to make as this terrible scene appears in front of you.
What is it? A D20?
Yeah, your sanity saving.
So what do I have to beat?
12.
12, but what's
the modifier?
What's the modifier? Well, you got a 2, and it's a -1 for... No, you got a -1, so what have you got a -1 in?
I've just rolled a 9. Where's the sanity? What's the...
Saving throws at the bottom.
It just says 1. It's not tick.
No, so you just got a 1.
Yeah.
So roll a d20, add 1.
Yes, a 10.
Yeah, okay. You are both inflicted by short-term madness.
Ooh, bugger.
Look at the short-term madness table out. They're all deletes.
Yeah.
Don't like that green die. I'm going to try a red one next.
Okay, could you please...
It's giving me short-term madness.
Could you both please roll me a D100 and then a D10?
$35 and then a 7.
Okay, so 35, you're frightened.
34.
30. You're frightened for 7 minutes.
Brilliant. That's about right. I mean, it would make sense. That makes perfect sense. And yeah, and so Sol is standing there and he's holding his glaive out in front of him, but he is visibly quivering.
Yeah.
And shaking with fear as
yes, you are.
This thing.
You are incapacitated with fear, Sol. You cannot take actions or reactions.
7 rounds.
But you do get a saving throw at the beginning of each round. So yeah. Okay, what did you roll? 34.
Yeah.
That's also frightened.
That's also same. So and.
Do I roll twice for advantage because I'm in a crypt?
What is your advantage?
There's an argument to be made there.
What is it? What advantage? I'm going to look at your character sheet. What advantage are you holding?
We wrote. This is something we wrote down when we made up my character. Advantages in graveyard.
Familiar territory. Feels like home.
And I think
you don't want to roll again on the short-term madness table. Frightened is a pretty good result from that table.
Okay. All right then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled an 8 then. So am I frightened then?
Yeah. You're frightened.
For 8 rounds.
Rounds.
Yes.
Does that mean I can't move for 8 rounds or do anything for 8 rounds?
It's all on you, Shedden.
You get a saving throw. Okay, and then so now that this has happened, you see this, and it is for everyone at home.
Oh no! Kind of cool.
Wow.
Aye. So I'd like you all, please, to roll initiative, and I'll bring up the initiative. Just let me check to see it's clear. I will clear it. Right. Please now roll initiative with your token selected. Okay. I will.
It's not great.
Well, we're not doing anything for 8 goes, so it's all on shedding now. We'll just sit back, feet upon.
Are they frightened, incapacitated, or are they frightened? As in, do they have to move away from the source of their fear?
That is a good point. Let me.
Incapacitated,
Because 31 to 40 on short-term madness is frightened, which is use your full turn to move away from the fear.
Oh, I do apologise. I do apologise. You are frightened. You are not incapacitated. That was just my wishful thinking. I do apologise for projecting my innermost desires for the demise of your characters upon the game. I stand corrected.
I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
No.
I'm not worried.
You're frightened, and you must use your action to get away from it as sharpish as you possibly can.
Basically, we're going to run away.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, it's back down to Shedden then. Same story then.
I'm just trying to establish whether this room's going to be clear or not.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Don't worry, we're running away.
Something's going to happen.
So first of all,
wonderful.
This horror that's in front of you is going to act upon its natural inclination, and it's going to lunge forward at Saul. Not that helps you any.
I can't do reactions or anything, right?
No.
No, you're frightened.
So it's going to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
With an 11, so it misses.
Yes.
So yeah, it does that. And then it's gonna shoot some web around its general area, not at you per se, but it's gonna the floor is gonna start to become webbed and a bit out to the wall, and it's just a bit expanding the web that's around, and it's but it's not actually webbing at you, but it's building up its web, and that's
difficult terrain.
That's its turn. Elizabeth.
Well, I'm just going to run away then.
I would like you, please, to make an athletics check, or rather a dexterity saving throw, as you're in your feared state, and you run down the corridor. I just want to see if you loup that hole that's outside.
Okay, so dexterity's 5, so oh no, 10.
Oh dear.
Oh.
You fall down the pit and land on top of Martin's. Fortunately,
you've broken your fall.
You don't take any damage as you crunch onto his ribcage. Yes, you don't take any damage, but you're now down a pit.
However, his last breath becomes his penultimate breath.
Thank God I've got dark vision. Maybe I don't.
Accordion.
Okay, but on the plus side, you can't see the thing that you're scared of.
Yay!
Does that mean oh?
You do get to make another wisdom save at this point because it's the end of your turn.
Okay, so oh my God, 10. What is it with my 10s tonight?
Yeah, you're scared. You just can't see it. That's not so bad. And that's the best way of being scared, is not being able to see the thing you're scared of.
You don't have to run away from it. In fact, if that's all it takes, I'm going to stand here and close my eyes.
You can't see it can't see you.
Any bonus actions? Nope, you don't get. Do you get bonus actions when you're scared?
No. Well,
run away.
There's technical argument for if you have a bonus action that lets you move further away.
Yeah.
If you have cunning action, for example, technically you can move further away. Your bonus action.
Yeah.
Not as written, no.
Okay. Oh, Sol.
I'm gonna run away.
Okay. And can I get a dex saving? Can I get a dex saving throw from you as well while you try and leap this?
I can try. A 13.
Yeah, you're okay. You just leap over it, no problem. You stride over it and continue down the corridor.
Round the corner, and they're running. And that's all I'm doing for my go. Do I get to save again?
You can dash if you want. In fact, you probably have to.
Oh. Can you see now? Shedding. No, it's all lifting now. You're okay.
Okay. Shen, you've been deserted. Everybody's run. This thing has appeared in front of you. Clearly not a beautiful maiden in distress. Clearly.
I am getting that feeling. I'm just gonna slowly shuffle towards the door as my hands come out of my sleeves and start to glow with bright red power. And I just thrust both hands towards the creature and cast Scorching Ray.
Ooh. It hits.
Is 3 rays? 3 rays. Sorry, let me roll.
Okay, so 20 points of fire damage.
If they all hit, yep.
Each
one's a separate attack roll, so.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. 2 of them hit. The first 2.
10 points of fire damage then.
Yep. Okay. And the third one. Yeah, the third one goes askew and scorches some web. Are you moving?
I just move towards the door and just grin at it and hold my arms out in front of me in a vaguely mystical gesture.
Nothing come to me, mate.
Is that everything?
That's everything.
Okay, and it lunges toward you. And yeah, it tries to bite you. Just reaches forward. It's clacking mandibles. And it gets a 10, so it misses. You managed it easily. It clearly hasn't had that much to eat over the years. It's a bit slow, but you get a sense it's waking up. Lisbeth, you're stuck down a hole.
Can I use my whip? Try and, like, clutch onto something? Is there anything above me that I could see that I could whip round to try and pull myself up? Or shout for help from, Sol?
Yes, why not? You look up and there's an old torch stand kind of within sight, and you spy it. It's going to be difficult to hit. High DC.
Okay. Go on then, what's the DC?
No, let's make you roll. It's just high. It's hard.
Ooh. Is this going to be strength? What's it going to be?
I wanted you to just roll an attack to see if you could hit it.
17.
Whip it good.
Did not. Just not. You didn't quite get it hooked on. You're still down the hole.
What is Sol about? Hello, help!
Could I get you to make another wisdom saving throw if that is the end of your turn? seeing that you're still...
Ooh! I actually did this one. 19.
Yes, okay. So being out of sight of this thing, you've managed to regain your composure. Hasn't helped you get out the hole, but at least you are no longer scared of this thing. You have mastered your fear. Now you're stuck in a hole. That's it.
So I'm in this hole and I've got dark vision. There's no ladders lying around or anything. After
that well-known trap mechanic of putting a ladder in the hole to let people out again.
Well, look,
no.
The guy that dug the pit must have got out somehow.
Find out.
How did the diggers get out?
They died down there.
Okay, it was worth an ask.
I'll make a ladder out of their rib cages.
So, definitely not. And
Okay.
yeah, you end your turn down an hole. Sol.
I didn't make my wisdom saving throw, did I, for last turn?
Go on then, yeah, make that at the end of your turn, yeah.
A 12.
That's a DC, isn't it? So, I think you're... Yeah.
Okay. So he's rounded the corner and he's standing there, catching his breath, kind of coming to his senses and realizing this is his honor that they hear. And he can hear Elizabeth calling to him. So he's gonna make his way back. Still not around the corner though, because he's not dashing. Oh, he's dashing. He's dashing.
He is dashing, but... Okay, so you look down the corner and you see Elizabeth's whip kind of just flailing back down the hole.
Okay, can I try and grab it as it's falling?
Yes, do it.
What am I going to need? Dexterity, would it be?
Yeah, go for it. No. You think that would be cool? And it would have been.
Well, it would have been really cool.
Nothing but air.
Yeah. But fortunately, he's round the corner, so nobody saw. Fail.
Elizabeth, you hear footsteps approaching down the corridor.
Okay.
Okay. Shedden.
That's my name, don't worry, don't. I'm going to have a think. 1 second. I did not mean to click that. Sorry, ignore that one. Yes. I start to move my hands across each other, and they start to crackle with blue energy. I throw a witch bolt towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Just an arc of lightning that connects me to the creature as it zaps across. 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Now you're in melee range still, so does that impact the attack?
Sorry, yes, you're correct. That's a miss.
And you're not a halfling. So yes, you kind of reach out and it...
the opposite of a halfling. I'm very tall.
It manages to deflect your arm away, and the bolt careers off into the ceiling and lights up some of the web that's there. It's at that point you realise that down that side of the corridor there is quite a lot of web, and you begin to wonder exactly what is inside there. But never mind. Yeah, you're fighting this. And is there anything else? Are you gonna retreat down the corridor? Are you gonna just block the doorway? Are you gonna shut the door and?
No, not this turn. I'm just standing in the doorway.
Okay. Yeah, so this thing is gonna now it sees you kind of fight, battling it, and it rather than trying to bite you because you've managed to dodge out the way, it rears up on its hind legs and it points its the back of its jaw like that. It opens its jaw right up, and then this globule of acid just down towards you. 12 to hit.
Misses.
You are so lucky that missed you. This acid goes down into the side and it immediately begins to dissolve the stone that's around you. That you feel it in the air as it goes past you. Yeah, that would have hurt. I am going to roll a d6 to see if it gets that back. It does not. Okay. So that's not available. Okay. And I think hang on. Move. Yeah, that's right, now it's going to try and bite you. As it does that, it misses and it reaches down to try and grab you with its mouth. 17 to hit.
It's
okay, and it actually bites you. Unless you've got any particular immunity to poison.
Not this time around.
Could you make a Constitution, which you do? So you pass that, but you still take some damage despite the fact that it. So you take 7 points of damage as this creature's venom enters into you.
8 piercing plus 7 poison. Gives me exactly 7 HP. Nice number to be at.
Okay.
That lucky 7.
As long as it's more than 0.
Okay. Elizabeth, you know that Saul's above you.
I shout, Saul, I'm going to flick my whip up. Hopefully he'll catch it and then I can be pulled up. Or
yeah, no, I'll give you that. That's because you're actually trying to hit him, aren't you? And you're trying to catch it. So between the two of you.
And as I'm going up, I will say, where the sodding hell have you been?
As you're saying that, behind you, the corridor, the wall is dissolving behind you. There's this kind of hissing sound as the acid meets the alkali of the stone, and it just begins to make this gas kind of, I don't know what it's doing. There's some chemical reaction happening, and it's all just disgusting. The corridor that you stepped through before has nothing on this one. And you turn around and you see this ginormous beast bearing down on Turnrith and sinking its teeth into in its neck area.
Do I have to do a wisdom save?
No.
What's that? Okay.
You've overcome your fear. I mean, if you invite it home for dinner afterwards and you're there for 12 hours or so, you might need to, but at the moment, you're all right.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. So I am going to, in this go, and I'm going to have to put my sword away, my short sword, and get my long bow. But I won't be able to fire it this time, will I?
Whip, bow. No, you won't be able to fire it this turn because you used your action to climb out.
Yes. Damn it. Kind of try and The gooey, melty stuff's not like gone into the corridor yet. The acidy thing.
Yeah, it's melted the door hinge off, and the door's now kind of half hanging, and the wood's starting to melt.
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do right now. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to try and stay away from that. Maybe shout to Shedding, get out. I'm not quite sure what.
Out. This is what we are here for.
Bye.
Sol.
Sol has to kind of try and redeem himself somewhat. He remembers a long time ago fighting some horrible beast cave. Is the reason that he's so terrified. Can he jump that gap?
Yeah, when you're consciously trying to do it, not a problem. You know, you leap off one side and you go in. That's not a problem.
Get shedding.
Yeah, you can get past shedding.
Take a swing with the glaive.
Yeah.
Because it's very long and pointy. These
are descriptive facts of a glaive.
That's definitely a hit.
10 damage. Yep. That thing. The bonus action, he swings the glaive hand, strikes at it with the butt.
Go for it.
The blunt end.
That's definitely a hit.
Not business end.
Oh no, only a D4. For another 3.
Okay, all counts and you have its attention.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't want that.
Have its attention. Gooey!
For now.
Okay.
Anything else?
Instant regret.
No, that's me. Done. Thank you.
Jeden.
That's my name. Yeah. Old favourites. I'm going to step to the side slightly, knowing that my allies are trying to come back through this door. And then I start to move my hands over each other, and a mass of warbling, sparkling energy starts to form between them as I blast Chaos Bolt towards the creature. Disadvantage. I did not click disadvantage. Roll that again. Although I think the 8's going to miss, so I don't think it matters. Now it's a disadvantage, thanks. I'll just waste both the good rolls. That would have been an 8, which misses, so...
Yeah.
Never mind.
So you're not having much luck with your spells with this thing. It's just because it's so close to you and there's webs forming around you, it's able to just bat your arms and you just can't get it. Every time you go to it, it seems like it knows what you're doing. Somehow it senses what you're doing. And it just bats you away. But on the plus side, it's not looking at you at the moment. So not directly. Maybe one of its eyes is looking at you, but not the main ones. Anything more from Sheddon?
I'm arguing with this sheet right now. Just ignore anything that pops up from me.
Okay.
I'll fix something.
No sooner do you jump into the room as your heroic rescue would dictate, engaging this foul beast. Engaging this foul beast with its glowing eyes and drool slavering out of it and the acid that it once spat forth down by your feet, dissolving the very stone that you're trying to not hide.
All right, so it wasn't a great plan.
And it bites you.
No.
It bites you with a 24.
And it does.
Could I get a Constitution saving throw from you, please?
12. So. No.
You fail. And you take 28 points of damage.
Ooh.
Oh!
That's smart.
That was a good roll.
Well, that depends on your point of view. It's all a matter of perspective, I suppose.
Don't do that on me.
Ouchie.
Okay. Oh, and I'll roll a d6. If it's 5 or a 6. Nope, still hasn't recharged. Right. Elizabeth.
I'm going to fire my longbow at it.
Yeah, easy done. Now that you're out.
Okay. Longbow D2. 20.
Yeah, that hits. Easy target.
Oh. 6 damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I'm kind of going to step to the side and get out.
All right. Sol. Your body is in agony at this point.
I can imagine that we've kind of been pushed back and slammed into the wall a little bit. Yells at him. But he's going to attempt to drive glaive through the middle of this thing as it's pinned him.
Aim for the big bit.
And he's going to miss.
Yep, you miss. Its arms are everywhere, and you're feeling weak after the assault.
I kind of am. I will attempt a bonus action, see if I can get at least a D4 on it. Got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
14?
Yep. That hits.
That's a hit. Oh, you get to... Oh, a 2.
Okay.
He tries to battle leg. The butt of glaive.
It's only 8 do.
Don't want him sticking any of them through me, that's...
Turnruth.
As the creature's turning from me towards the muscle, which of course is its job, I'm just going to wave my hands.
I thought you were the strongest.
Frost starts to gather over my hands as I cast Frostbite on the creature. This is a con save for the creature. DC 14.
Okay, I'll roll straight 10.
Chilly.
1 cold damage, the grand total of 1, and it has disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
Which is probably a good thing. As it continues to chow down upon...
Look at his face, he's loving it.
You've got to get at least 1 fatality in this out of this whole...
Yep.
He's enjoying
campaign,
this
right?
far too much.
Kill the character in episode 2. We've got to kill 2 in episode 3 to balance it out.
Yeah, it's going to attack
each time.
It's going to attack you with disadvantage. Let me just edit that so it will give me the option to do disadvantage. There we go. Disadvantage. Yeah, it's going to try and bite you. 9.
A miss.
Okay, I'll roll a d6 to see if it gets its charge. Nope, still hasn't got it back. Right. Elizabeth.
I do the same. I'm just going to sort of stay out of its chomping mouth range, fire my longbow at it. 14 plus 18. No, 20 again.
Yep, hits.
Ooh. 12.
Nice. Okay.
I'm just keeping out of its beady eyes.
So we step back round the corner.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just
So,
basically, stepping up.
Yeah, stepping in,
up.
firing.
Yeah.
The whatever strength he has pushes the glaive ahead of it, tries to force the thing back.
Yep, you connect with it.
13 points MR. I'll attempt to try and strike. Oh. Now, how does this work?
It's a crit, so you roll 2d4.
D4.
Kill it.
Kill it with the blunt end.
Yeah.
Prove which part of glaive is really effective. Kill it with the blunt end.
Yeah. You know what? I should have brought a staff.
Yep.
Any movement?
I think I'm going to try and get out of this corner.
So down towards this way, that's kind of now you're getting into sticky web situations.
I don't want to do that either.
That's not terrible. It does start a lot worse down by this kind of area here.
Okay. Okay, right. I'm going to try and circle.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. This bit here is all totally webbed up.
More. There. Get to there.
There you go.
Excellent artwork.
There we go. Dense white. Cobwebs. I could probably not be lazy and just type cobweb into the gallery. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some. Anyway,
don't know why there'd be cobwebs in the gallery.
I think he might have regret that.
So, yeah, right.
That's it.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think you oversold the whole cobweb.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Getting less and less impressive.
Right, there we go. That's about as much as you can see through it anyway. Turnruth.
That's my name. I'm getting mad.
Yeah.
I just bring both my hands up and cover my eyes. Start to cast Disquieting Gaze. As I move my hands away, my eyes are glowing red and pouring motes of red light out of them.
Okay.
I'm just going to growl at the creature and step backwards.
You're attempting to intimidate it?
Technically that would be an action, so I don't know if you'll allow me to intimidate it, but I'm growling at it in any case.
Yeah, I see.
I don't have another action, but I'm going to growl at it. In any case, I'm growling at it and stepping backwards. But
you have advantage on spell attack rolls. Okay, the creature's going to see your eyes. Do I need to... Is there a save on that just now?
No.
No. Strange description. Right. Okay. Is that everything?
That's it.
Okay. It's been following the combat. It's going to try and bite once again. Now that you're getting to where it wants you, it's going to try and bite you again, Saul. There's the roll of 11.
Miss.
11.
11.
11. Right.
11. Means it.
I know why you're trying to kill me.
It's because you've got the blunt end of the glaive.
No, it's because somebody's redeemed the the Croy in.
There's been a murder.
It was me.
That's why.
And you wanted to be murdered.
I have to have something to.
That's right.
I have to have something to be able to talk about. Yeah. I mean, that's how dedicated we are.
Now then, I think that's fair.
Oh, I'll go roll d6. Oh, lovely. Okay.
I don't think it is.
Eventually, acid time shortly.
Right, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. We'll see what happens. Go for it, Liz.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Yes.
I'd rolled a 19, so that's 24.
Yep, definitely hits.
7.
Okay.
And zip round the corner again.
Mm-hmm.
I am not being spat on by acid breath.
So you're totally covered. Back in the corner.
Totally covered from the acid that melts walls.
Yeah, but it's got to go through a few walls and stuff to get to me. I've got a little bit of protection.
It's not even looking at you. It's looking at Captain Saul.
You can't be overcautious. I've got to pop back out on my next go and use my bow.
Whose turn it is?
Twang it.
Who's doing toe-to-toe with this thing?
Yeah. A little bit of a panic by now, I imagine. And lashing wildly out with Blade. Now it's got a bit more room to maneuver. 15.
Well, yeah, although you've got more room to maneuver, you are in amongst some webs, so you're kind of at the same time you're cutting through, but yeah, you still hit it.
Yeah. Glavy sharp. 6 points of damage. Wait a minute. I rolled a 1. I get to re-roll that because I've got a skill. I've got a feat.
Okay.
Can't remember what it is.
Captain's got feet.
It's fighting style great weapon.
Great weapon.
When you roll a 1 or 2 on damage die for make with a melee weapon you're wielding with hands, you can re-roll the die and use a new roll.
Go for it.
Better.
Yeah, it's looking pretty hard at this point.
Okay.
You've done a lot of damage to it.
Wah!
That also hits.
Hit it with the blunt end.
Yeah. For a 4.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah, it's looking seriously done. It's slightly lower than it was. The web spinning has stopped. It's not spinning any more webs behind it. It's looking at you, and its glow is still there, staring at it. It's trying to rear itself up to finish you off, but it doesn't quite have the strength to do that. But yeah, okay. Turneth.
That's my name. I just reach out my hand and form it into a claw, and a ghostly skeletal claw gathers around it. I just slam it forwards towards a creature. The ghostly claw strikes out and scratches against the creature. So it's chill touch. With advantage because of disquieting gaze.
Good.
Yeah.
You do manage to hit it, and you do a lot of damage. Okay.
If it is an undead target, it has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, so it slumps forward a little bit as you hit it, but it is not undead. And yeah, it's looking seriously beat up. It slumps down slightly, and its legs kind of look like it's about, and it picks itself up. and it looks down at Saul and tries to grab you for one last time in its weakened state for a 19.
And it hits.
And it isn't trying to kill you.
Why is that slightly more worrying?
You'd see the heads in the webs.
It does 20 points of damage. But,
okay. Yeah.
Not trying to kill you, but I'm gonna damage you.
It's
I'm at -8.
Yeah, so you're not it grabs you as you are now unconscious. And it doesn't want to kill you outright. So it's not going to do that. It's going to drag you and haul you.
Oh.
You're stable, but you are diseased. As it grabs you, it grabs you and it hauls you over to its web, and it puts you. It begins to spin like a cocoon around you.
Just realised I do have second wind.
Oh, do you?
Do.
Or yeah, okay then.
Too late, missed it. He's moved on.
I'm at -8, so this.
Well, no, but it deliberately.
It's hit points. It's
from 0.
Yeah.
So I can use
you
that.
can't perform a bonus action because you're unconscious, so it's a bit late.
Yeah, missed it.
But what I think is cool is I'm liking this because what I think is cool is it's begun to spin its web around you. You're still diseased, right?
Yeah.
But when that comes back, you come back as it's dragging you and spinning you up. So I will give you your second wind, but any attacks will be at disadvantage because you're kind of restrained. You're webbed up a little bit. I mean, you're not completely cocooned, but you're, so you might still be able to use your.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to take it. I gotta do it. I think.
Yeah.
It's 1d10 plus 4. $10 point. 10 hit.
So your second wind brings you back as it continues to web you up and put you in the corner. So you're actually conscious while this is happening.
And that sounds worse.
You chose this.
I know. I'm regretting my decision.
And you're being rolled round.
Hold on, I gotta roll it. Oh.
Oh wow.
Roll high.
Always roll high.
Hey! Maximum damage.
Nice.
No, not quite. 9, nearly. 14.
Okay. This is cool. At the same time,
now that it's got me right where I want it.
Yeah. At the same time, Lisbeth, you're eyeing up your next shot, aren't you?
I am. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, is it Shedding's? No.
18.
Okay, that hits.
And 13 to hit. Well, 13 damage thing.
Right. Okay. So here's how it goes. Sheddon, before you're able to prepare your next spell, before you're able to do anything, you see an arrow down. At the same time, it's already grabbed Captain Saul, and it's rolling him through webs, and it's pushing him through webs, and it's turning him in webs, and you see him getting webbed, and you see him just, you think he's down, but his eyes just come back. So Saul, how do you take this thing down? And also simultaneously, Elizabeth, where does your arrow hit in order to finish between the two of your attacks? You've actually managed to relinquish this thing from its existence.
Well, if it's facing forward on Soul, it'll be up Jacksy.
So you're kind of marching forward with your arrow.
Yeah.
And you've seen it take it, and when you're walking, you jump over the pit, land, walk into the room, bring your bow back, and the arrow just through all the web and smacks into it. It roars. It turns round to look, and then Saul, you just as you come to.
I figure that Saul, he's got one arm loose.
Yeah.
He's still hanging on to the glaive by everything.
Yeah.
And as he kind of comes around, with one arm, he brings the glaive up, catches the thing right in the neck, if you like. Guess it. Thor.
You're kind of
right between its head and its kind of shoulders.
Yeah.
And the glaive goes straight through and severs the head.
Yeah. And the beast stops moving, and it crumples in its suspension. Legs caught up in the webs, and its heaviest part of the body sinks to the floor, and its legs are still up, caught in the web. And it just sort of hangs there like a puppet without anyone pulling its strings. And you're just caught up in all this sticky, gooey web. And
hanging upside down, feeling unwell.
Yeah. Yeah, something's not right. So something's definitely not right. And with that, it's a good point to take a break, and we'll come back and clean up what's left to be done with this. So we'll take a 10-minute break, and we'll be right back, guys. You have dispatched this monstrosity, this webbing that is now around Captain Saul. What are you guys going to do?
Good job, Captain. I knew I brought you for a reason.
I'm pulling this webbing off. And I'm looking across towards the back of the room, where all those other bodies were. They're just hanging there, right? There's nothing moving. Is there?
There were some faces in the webbing.
Yeah, there was faces that you saw, and their eyes were looking at you.
The sarcophagus, is it kind of partially open?
No, it's closed.
Let's see if there is any way to open it.
There are 3 chains across it as you approach. Brush away some of the web.
Open it.
Are they locked? Mundane locks?
D&D, of course we're going to open it.
Wow. Yeah, the chains don't budge as you try to push the. They're clearly not just decorative.
Can I see any way in which they're attached, locked?
They look surprisingly slender. They're fixed round the body of this and then into the ground. But they look very slight. There's not much to them. Made of some sort of metal.
I'll stick my crowbar under one and see if I can snap it.
Okay, so you pull this out. Give me an attack roll with your
attack roll.
I
mean, it's not a weapon; it's just a tool for.
Yeah. Okay. So you're trying to give us a strength. Give us an athletics.
Should I assist?
Why would I need assistance? I'm the strongest dragonborn in the world.
I won't bother them.
There's something very peculiar about these chains. They don't like these are slight chains. You should have been able to break them with that, but there's clearly other forces at work here.
I investigate them for magic.
What, you just kind of... Are you using a spell, or are you...
No, I'm just going to stare at them and go, they seem magical.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's about much...
Twice, sorry.
Yeah, yeah given the physical properties of this and the amount of strength that you placed underneath them, they should have snapped, you know that. But they didn't. And that could only be because there's some sort of magic holding them.
Do you sense anything inside, Jenny, before we open?
I mean, I would like to have a look inside regardless of what I sense, but I'll just sort of lean down and put my ear against it and see if I can feel anything powerful inside. My eyes are still pouring out this red light, by the way.
We're all very intimidated at the moment. Whatever he suggests, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, give me... You're listening. Give me a perception roll.
Figure out what's in there.
You put your head down. Onto the top of this. Brushing away yeah, brushing away the webs. And you look over as you put your head down. Your eye focuses across the room. There's 2 stone pillars that you hadn't observed before, set against the side of the room, in what would be the west wall. It's peculiar that there be such things in such position, as if to indicate a doorway, but no door.
Captain, when you've freed yourself from your misfortune, check over there. It looks like there should be a doorway or something.
Yeah, I get to my feet.
And you continue to listen. You continue to listen at the sarcophagus, and there's no noise coming from it. But the most interesting thing you've found has been that empty doorway.
Elizabeth, come here.
Step forward to him.
I just hand the crowbar over to her. Snap these chains.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, with advantage with the crowbar.
Advantage.
Yeah. Athletics
Strength,
or
you want?
yeah, or
Athletics.
strength. Yeah. I mean, same. I guess you might be a bit more. You've got,
okay, with
you've got
advantage. Oh, got a natural 20.
Oh wow.
So it's 22.
Yeah, and the first chain breaks. You manage to snap this. Quite how you managed to do it, you don't know. But yeah, it snapped. It was very, very hard. Your bodies are your strength is feeling very sapped after having done it, but you managed.
Excellent. Now do the other two.
I need to do it again. All right. Okay. So I'll go to the second one. What for? 16.
You can't budge it. He just doesn't want to move. Saul, how are you getting on over there?
That's a very good question. I'm examining the missing doorway.
Oh, so you've stepped out from the webs and such. You've.
If I may, if I'm
yeah,
clear
go for it. Yeah, drag yourself over to the
Which
space and other corner of the room.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then specifically just there, because between there's those two posts.
Yeah. I'll examine that area.
Yeah, roll investigation. You're looking around and you're looking at these things.
21.
Yeah. There is something here. It was not meant to be easily found. It was not meant to be just casually happened upon. This has been very purposefully hidden. Expertly so. Deliberately so. Not like the poor attempts you've already uncovered. This is different craftsmanship that you found. You dust down some of the webs that have formed around the side, and you see a crack, a very slight crack, possibly where maybe spiders or over time. And as you look down there, and with the light from there, you look down, you see a very smooth stone wall behind it. There's definitely something behind it. It's not quite how you open it is a different matter, but yeah, you definitely know there's something there.
You're all right, Sherry. There'll be a door here. Perhaps you could help me find some kind of mechanism to open.
Excellent. Oh, walk over behind the captain.
I'll keep going at the chain.
Okay, so an investigation with advantage from from Shedden. There we go.
Natural
20.
And another athletics check from Elspeth, please. Elizabeth.
So I threw it on my desk.
That is why you want to put the dice, yes.
Oh yeah, I did get it. I got 4 on it.
Nice.
Yeah, you're totally struggling at these things. You just can't budge them. How you managed to snap the first one even when you look at it, you see it's actually been like broken out of the stone. You actually smashed the stone rather than the band itself. So yeah, quite how you did that, you don't know, but you haven't been able to replicate it. Shedden.
I'll keep going though.
Elimination.
You're taller than Saul, right?
Accurate.
So you reach up and you dust away some cobwebs, and you look up and you see some script that you decipher, and it's in Elvish.
The language I speak?
Yes.
And also read, which would be more useful in this case.
Yes.
Hey, just say it out loud.
And it says, along the top, the Dreamwalker, shackled, by the Odenburgite, which I might be mangling the pronunciation of.
I might need you to spell that one.
But it's written in like that.
At which point I'll tell you how to pronounce it. No, that's close enough. Odenburgite.
Odenburgite.
So,
You gotta roll that off.
Language of origin, confusion.
Guy.
The script seems to imply that that's what's behind the door, or is it unclear? Work out from context, as it were.
yeah. I mean, it's an arch. It's an arch kind of way that you. So yeah, indication of a portal of some description.
It seems to be. There is something shackled here. Perhaps the source of power we're looking for. See if you can get it open with your big stick thing.
Your big stick thing. When did you turn into me?
I know what it's called, I just don't care. I'll step back to give the captain a bit more space with his big stick.
See if you can find some purchase. Are you gonna attack? What are you gonna do to the doorway to try and make it?
I'd prefer to use
ajar.
the crowbar.
Yeah, go for it.
but I don't have one.
I've got it.
Elizabeth's going or using.
Well, you're going to have to share.
Yeah. When you're finished messing around over there, perhaps we could use that crowbar over here.
In a minute. I'll give it one last big weller.
Yeah.
Weller.
Do it.
16, she says.
16.
Nah.
Oh, bugger.
Definitely not budging it. Something not right about this. You should have been able to break it with that, but you just can't. You're just looking at it going, you're befuddled by it. It's not. Something so slender shouldn't be so strong. There shouldn't be as much strength as there is.
I'm going to throw the crowbar over to them.
Yeah.
And then my next go, I'm going to get my longsword in it. Flick it.
Okay. Captain.
Aye.
An athletics attempt from yourself, please.
Do you want me to do a throw on agility just because don't twonk him on the head as it goes across the room?
Yeah, go for it. Well, that would be a saving throw then from...
Yeah.
You might be doing this.
Roll the dice if you hit him in the head.
What do I need to roll?
Well, I think you can throw it easy enough. It's just, yeah. If you roll dex,
I rolled a 1. Don't do it on me.
Yes.
Because I've just took him out of his me.
Excellent. Yeah, you lob it over, and it's a bad throw. It's a bad throw. It clatters over the floor to your feet. And you pick it up, and you turn around. You see that space that's been made by probably spiders, because it's why not? Because everything else is in this place. And you try and heave the gemmy into there.
Yeah, it's just jam the
Spiders with an excellent sense of architecture.
I will attempt to force this door open.
This is where you bring the muscle.
Jinx. 15.
It moves a little bit, but not entirely. But you know, having shifted it after a fashion, you manage to the door slides into itself. It's very intricate in its creation, not like anything else that's here. I mean, this tomb that you're in is relatively fine, but there's something particularly exquisite. Yeah, but it's old, and so it's maybe not quite as discreet and well made as it is. Whatever's happened here has certainly managed to erode the door slightly.
Is there any ominous rumbling, breeze, anything once we?
Well, so as you take time, and in that time, Elizabeth, do you want to try and have another couple of attempts? Because it's going to take Sol quite a bit of time to push that door to one side.
Of course I do.
So another couple of...
I'm going to get rid of those two, though, because they've been a bit rubbish. Because I've got different weapons. I'm going to get purple and blue.
I would like to find something solid to go between me and wherever Elizabeth's trying to pry things with a long sword.
Yeah. It was a long sword. Now, kind of a dagger, really.
I mean, you could try and hack at it. No.
Oh, wait. No, hold on a minute. Here's a question, right? If I just rolled... Right, it's my sword. So I've just rolled D20 and then added 2. But if I'm doing it under the things that I do with my normal sword, it'd be... I'd have rolled then 21.
Well, if you're attacking it... If you're attacking it, then yes, and you would definitely get a chip out of it if you attacked it with a 21.
21. Does it give it damage then?
Yes.
Woo!
Only be
I rolled an 8, so that's 8, 9, 10. 13.
Okay. It's going to take you a little bit of hacking, but let's just say that you are able to, now that you've kind of got the measure of where it is, it will take you, give me a D4, and we'll see how many minutes it takes for you just to continually just chink, chink, chink with this, with your blade, just hacking away at it.
4. 4 minutes.
So it takes you quite a while.
I have to ask, given everything we have seen today, whether it would be wise that we open Sarcophagus and this door.
But I'm still chunking away, you'll be fine.
Okay, so yeah, you just hear this chink, 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 chink. And I guess, Shedden, you're kind of looking at Elspeth and you're just shaking your head because it's, you know, I mean, you know she's going to take time. You don't even really realize maybe that she's actually doing anything, but you reckon that if you just used magic, you probably would be able to get rid of them without any difficulty. But you don't tell Elizabeth that. She just watches, she knackers herself out, slamming the sword at these things. And you look to one side as you see Sol pushing the door that you're expecting, whatever the Dreamwalker is. Could I get a history? a history check from you, please, as you're contemplating?
Yes. I am a master of history, as I am obviously the most intelligent Dragonborn.
Glad that you didn't say make a wisdom saving throw.
You keep it to yourself. You keep it to yourself, but nothing springs to mind from your great reservoir of knowledge that is your gigantic brain.
Definitely know exactly what the Dreamwalker is.
Yeah.
And you will tell.
I'm not just going to make it up on the spot.
And the Hamburg, right? So whatever it was.
Excellent. So, Saul, you managed to get this. You managed to get this door. And as you do,
You make a wisdom saving.
there's another corridor, a short corridor. It leads to a door
reading
with bars, vertical, across a small window. The door otherwise looks similarly exquisite, perhaps more so than this. There are runes across it. There are signs down the corridor that this entire corridor is some sort of ward, or some sort of magical spells have been cast upon it. And you look down with the light. There's something moving behind the door.
Who's there?
A spider crawls out from the bars. It's a reasonable sized one. It's not massive, but big enough. Tarantula size. Enough to make a noise. And it scuttles down towards you. It's no threat to you. It scuttles, you could stand on it or let it pass you. But yeah, it moves down the corridor towards you. Nothing happens. It doesn't seem to, no harm comes of it.
That wasn't the movement, was it?
You reckon it probably was. No, you reckon that was probably the spider. It's big enough to do that.
I just squish the end.
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, quite a lot of sibilants are getting cut out of that sentence, which made it sound altogether like something different.
Did it?
I mean, we got squish. That was the important one.
Yeah, I'm gonna squish it with the end of the sharp end of the pointy stick.
Yeah. Excellent.
Did you get that?
Yes, thank you. So you do so, and you look down the corridor at the bars.
I'm gonna walk down the corridor and look in through the bars. I guess it's no light.
No light. You could have picked up you've got a torch or something.
I light something from one of those braziers or something and shove it through the bar into the room.
Yeah. So let me show you what you see. Hang on, I'm just going to move you. Nope, I'm not going to move you. I'm going to do that. There we go. As you look through the bars on the door, you see that there is statue. You recognize it as Urena, the eight-eyed, eight-armed goddess of destruction. She's standing there, her arms spread at her side. Her 8 human-like eyes seem to follow you, similarly to the eyes that you saw back in the sarcophagus room. She stares at you. The statue, otherwise unmoving. All the eyes stare at you. What do you do?
Jedin.
Yes.
There's a statue back here, but it's behind this door. Assuming it's locked. Tried it yet? No, don't dare. Do you sense any magic? Actually, I don't even know if you can do that.
Let me take a look.
I'm still hacking at the other chain, by the way.
Yeah, you're probably getting to the point where it's starting to get loosed, finally. Are you looking at this statue that's within the room?
I can imagine, that. Oh.
Anybody as its eyes.
Yeah.
So I can imagine implied that there's something in there.
Yeah. That soul is probably kind of staring at it and look Jedin. But I'm looking.
So you hear. So I guess what's happening is you're looking through the bars and you're staring at this thing and you're talking. You're saying, "Jedin, there's something that I think you should come and look." Could I get a DC 10 sanity saving throw from you, please, as you're staring into the eyes of this thing?
No.
Usual roll is automatic failure.
You have now looked into the eyes for too long. Something vast, something unimaginable, something beyond your own comprehension. The inside of Kadari's brain has infused yours. You've had a lapse. The actual... Ange.
No, I'm not looking.
I've stopped.
We need one of those.
Yeah.
We need one of those redeem things for that.
You, having spent so much time looking at this infinite void of eyes, you're no longer yourself. Jedin, when you come down, you've heard that, and you've looked, and he's standing there. He's just staring. He's not moving out of your way. He's not doing anything.
I'll just assume he's being the muscle and standing in front of me to protect me from blows. And lean over him and glance at the statue and then look at this door. You said there were runes carved into it?
I mean, you see the runes going down the corridor as well. And on the door, and they're just everywhere. Could I get a D100, please, from Captain Saul?
It's on the madness table.
60.
That should have been the title.
Could I
Make
get
it a good one.
Could I get another D100 from you, please?
Double mad.
Double.
92.
As you are staring at this, the reason that you don't move out of the way from Jedin as he walks down is you don't hear him. You just don't. You don't hear him at all. In fact, now you come to think of it, and you break your eyes away from this thing, you don't hear anything. You hear nothing at all. You have no sound. You cannot hear anything. You are now deafened. Could I get could you please roll 1d10?
I shall.
Okay. So this effect will last
9
hours. 9 hours.
As I come to investigate the door, I just lean straight over Sol's shoulder. It's just massive dragonborn snout just comes straight into his field of vision.
And and I guess I jump. Because I was kind of expecting it, but kind of wasn't. Couldn't hear him.
Yeah, it's strange, and I don't know if you say anything, Shidden, but yeah, you don't hear anything. You just lips move, but you don't hear what they're saying. You caught a fleeting glimpse just out the corner of your eye.
I'm just going to ignore whatever the muscle's doing.
Yeah, you look in as your snout comes round the shoulder of the muscle, and you look into the room. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at these runes on the door. I'm trying to figure out if there's some sort of magical.
Yeah. Lock. Okay. So you're not looking inside the cell itself, and okay. So
I glanced. I'm not really staring.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. See a statue, 8 eyes, whatever. But this is right in front of you, and it's much more interesting. So give me an Arcana check.
Well, if it's behind the locked door, that's probably where the power is, and I want to get in to where the power is.
These are all wards against any number of different things: interplanar travel, teleportation. These are wards that cancel out scrying. These are wards that basically render whatever is in here to be basically undiscoverable. Whatever's here is just trying to be hidden and kept away from prying eyes and magic. So yeah, but they take a bit of time looking at it. I think at this point we'll cut back to Elizabeth, and you finally you manage to just and you smash the last one, and you complete that process.
Okay. I don't think I'll open it straight away. I think at this point I would start to chat back. I've got the chains. I'm turned around and they're not there.
Yeah, down the corridor.
Yeah. And I stand there shouting, I've got the chains off!
Excellent. I'll be with you in a moment.
I think Sola's probably walked back a little bit dazed and confused. Shame.
Yeah, there's no sound in this chamber. The fire, you see it flickering, and you expect to be able to hear something. There's none. Your footsteps aren't resonating.
Yeah, so tapping glaive on stone door.
Yep.
Shoots a questioning glance across at Elizabeth, who may not even be looking.
Judging by Angie's face, I'm missing something in chat.
So we should put it on a mug or something. That's what we're gonna do.
I mean, you just redeemed 1,500 points for this. You can't just immediately say
I want
stop.
it, but I don't want it. I want it, but I don't want it.
I want to see how long you do it. I'm not going to look at you while you do it.
You want to see how long I can do this for?
No, that's enough now. We've done now. Stop.
Oh no, that's a lot of points. This is gonna go on for a while.
Nobody else redeem any because he's stupid. Stop now! Oh shit, I can still see him, you just can't see me!
What's the point of that? If I close my eyes, you can't see me.
Excellent.
That
right.
Work.
That didn't work the way you think it would. That's
No,
like me
didn't.
turned off a microphone to blow my nose. Except not the right one.
Right, stop now! Oh my god, can't look at him. Oh, he stopped now. Where were we?
Friendly guest there, though.
It was. It's actually lovely. I actually noticed he's got very lovely blue eyes earlier this evening. I did mention it.
You're hearing Saul making a whole bunch of clatter. He's like he's banging his poleaxe off. He's stomping his feet or whatever. He's just making a lot of noise.
What are you doing? Just go up to him.
I guess. Just staring at you.
What are you doing? Why are you banging?
Say, can I hear?
Right. Oh.
Can I hear? Can you hear? Can you hear
Yes.
anything?
What?
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything. Don't know what to say. Did something loud go off?
And I guess he wanders off for more days. Correct.
Shadin, where did he go? Why is he can't? What's going on?
I don't know. The muscle are always weird. I'm trying to figure out how to open this door. Just stay back there and do something useful, I guess.
I pushed the lid of the thingy just open slightly.
And it moves slightly with your very strong finger.
I grab the back. Right there. There we go.
He's still staring, Ange. Still doing it.
I can't see.
Just for reference.
It just means that they get very dry eyes.
But you can see how blue his eyes are, everybody. Look at those blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
I run over and grab Soul and indicate to him he's got to help me push this lid off.
And I just shove her.
Rude. So rude.
Not until he paused.
I'll post you some in Discord, Ange. About what you see.
No! That's just... I've got to take the sheet back. It's got me...
For viewers at home, I just posted a picture of Kadari staring at the camera.
At me.
I don't need that.
Excellent. Okay, so...
He stares into your soul.
Yeah, the what you do is you manage to finally hack these chains apart, but it's no mean feat that you did so. And inside there is a perfectly preserved corpse of a very beautiful young woman with smooth ivory skin and glossy dark hair. She clutches a green crystal shard over her chest. And that's it.
I don't think I would, to be fair, I would just turn and say, now our latest Steve Ash will be free, and I'll push it short away and go and see what I'm just gonna go and see what Shedden's doing.
Okay. So you walk back over, you read the last rites to the perfectly preserved corpse,
Well, it's not that. I'm just sort of like, because I disturbed it and I've realised there's nothing else in there, I just put it back and leave it because it's. I'm not going to. Wait. Sorry, did you say it was perfectly preserved?
Mm-hmm.
Like not decomposed. Okay, I'll be thinking that over as I go over to Shedden.
And holding a hands clasped like that with a green crystal in the hands.
I mean, for now, I'll push it back shut and wander off. But in my head, I'm kind of thinking, well, that's not decomposing and had a shard and there's weird going on. But and obviously, old Deaf Boy's on and appeared, and he's not.
What do you say?
Didn't marry for your sense of humour.
Only good thing.
So you walk over. Shedden, what have you been up to?
I'm figuring out these wards, and then is there any obvious way to open the door? Does it have a regular old handle? That'd be useful.
No, it does not. And you haven't really looked in. You haven't sort of stared at the statue in any particular manner. So you kind of looked in and looked around. And... Oh, okay. So
I'm going to. I'll lean up to the window awkwardly, bang my snout against it a couple of times until I can get one eye over there at least. Creature inside. These wards are keeping you in here, yes? If I break them, grant me power, you can be free.
And the eyes swivel round on the statue, and they stare and engage you. And I'd like you to make a sanity save as the big, giant force that's behind these ancient eyes trapped within the statue that you've realised bear down on you and try and take your soul. Yeah, that is enough. That's a pass. You measure up to it. You don't get. You don't get a response. The door is absolutely, you know that unless you bring the best thieves or the same level of magic that created all of this power to hold this place, you're going to have to try to dispel or otherwise break down, but you don't think you've got the muscle to do it. You don't even think that your muscle is enough of a muscles to do it. It's you don't know. You're not sure. But maybe somebody adept. But the inscription on the top that you read in Elvish rings in your mind. And at that point, I think you've got Elizabeth sort of walking down and pointing at you down the corridor and talking to you. So, Shedden, what are you up to?
I'm going to try and scratch out some of these runes. I've got my claws, I've got some pittons.
Yeah.
It might take a great amount of magical power to write these things, but it takes a monkey with a stick to break them.
Yeah, so you begin to hack away at this, but this whole corridor is just covered And
yeah, I'm hoping if I can identify the runes that sort of hold together individual wards and just...
Yeah.
I'm not scratching out everything, I'm trying to scratch out the runes that would dispel the power of each ward. Yeah.
Sure. Give me an Arcana.
Yeah.
Give me an Arcana check if you're... Okay.
21.
Still, this thing, everything that you're doing, as you're looking at this and reading, and there occasionally you're seeing patterns that refer back to this emerald. And you kind of see this, you look up and you're following the trail and you're tracking, you recognise some of the spells. Some of the magic is beyond you. Just even still, it's just beyond you. But every now and again you see this callback to this emerald, this Odenbergite, and you're just like, what is that? What? And you're kind of looking, and this seems to be a common factor of everything that you see as you're examining all the wards in the corridor.
Fine.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you're watching an increasingly frenzied Shedden as he's kind of tracing these. You hear him cracking every now and again. He's getting his hammer and he's like scratching something in the wall, and he's looking very, very studious. And you're just watching him do this, but you know you've got something eating away at you since you saw it.
Shedden, what are you doing?
I am breaking the runes. The
Why?
Important magical... Because the power within here needs to get out.
Why does it?
That is what we are here for, Elizabeth.
No, we're here to find it and report back, and then they can decide whether we get it out or not, or how they use it. We don't release it, and we don't use it.
We are here to claim power. We aren't here to write some notes and report back.
Yes, we are. We're not claiming it. We don't know how to control it.
I can control anything.
We're here to discover whether there was what the source of the power is.
And I've discovered it, and now I'm going to claim it.
No. We have to report back. They will come and claim it if they want it.
Well, you can go and report back if you want to. I'm not coming back to this village for a fourth time. The secrets send us out here for nothing.
Oh, God. He's going to get us killed.
Did you get the sarcophagus open at least?
There's a totally preserved body in there. Holding a green crystal.
And as you say that, you just see the dragon head just snaps around you. A green crystal?
Yes.
Show me.
I turn round. You have to stop acting on impulse. We have to discuss these things, talk about it, before you start doing it.
Yeah, and you open up the sarcophagus to show Shedden the body, and sure enough, as before, perfectly preserved figure, clutching a green stone.
I'll reach in and grab the crystal.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Could I get you both, please, to make a sanity saving throw? Because as he does that, as you grab the crystal, as soon as you've taken that crystal, the body immediately turns to dust. The whole body just right across from the point of the crystal out, emanating. Its entire body just turns into dust. Everything that was there is no longer.
Natural one.
Seven.
Okay. Yeah, so you both fail.
That's a given.
So we're looking on the short term, man. So roll a D100, please.
Oh, goody. $28.
65.
28. The character becomes incapacitated and spends the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping.
It's laughing.
Okay. And what was it? 60?
65.
65. Could you both roll me a d10 as well, please?
Yep.
Elizabeth, you're now suffering from vivid hallucinations.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, for 10 minutes, you're tripping balls.
Shit.
Just watches. Shedden very calmly takes off his backpack, pulls out a large helmet and puts it on his head, and then just starts laughing and screaming in thousands of languages, just spontaneously switching between language every couple of words.
Brilliant.
I see hallucinations of lots of little women. This woman that I saw, or the grains of ash, or like as it crumbles, now turn into lots of little ones of her, and they all come swarming out.
Brilliant.
Out of the crypt.
So it's titled all these. Yeah, I love it. That's cool. So, you're both there. Saul, what have you been up to while these guys have been smoking?
He turns round. He's laughing, and I'm like,
No. Saul has wandered off up the corridor, and I think he's going to get to a point where, when he's in that first chamber where we encountered spiders.
Yeah.
He can't hear a single thing. He's gonna do a proper full-on Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's about it as he breaks down.
Yeah. On his knees.
Yeah.
Clatter the glaive to the floor. His hands and fists slamming against the... Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, then. So the three of you have all variously succumbed to this crypt has taken you. For some, it will be over more quickly. You have discovered the source of the power, and as you variously get your wits about you, even to the point, I guess, Saul, that after 10 minutes or so, you kind of come back to yourself a little bit and
crawls out of the crypt, I guess.
You don't hang around. You don't go back. You crawl up the you climb slowly across the pit and up the stairs into the light. Maybe the chapel would be able to heal you. Maybe there's something that they could do. Maybe you could call upon divine favor.
Perhaps he'd head over there, and try and communicate with the people in the chapel. I can't remember what their names were. The nuns or whoever they were.
Yeah. The Everlight nuns. The Everlight.
That's them.
Disciples. Meanwhile, down in the crypt, we have a very inquisitive dragonborn with 6 minutes all to himself, while his muscle companion is chasing around small miniature versions of the Lady of Death that crumbled to dust as she plays with imaginary hallucinatory figures in the sky.
And as I calm down from my fit of hilarity, I calmly take the helmet off and put it back in my backpack, and I start to examine the emerald. Can I sense the power within it? Can I access the power in any way?
Let me see. It's a 2-inch diameter piece of emerald. It definitely has huge value. And it appears... Well, give me an Arcana check, because... Yeah, so you're looking at it, and there's no denying that there's power here. That given that it was able to sustain the person in the sarcophagus. Sarcophagi. So you're actually looking at it, and you're thinking about it, and you're holding this thing in your hand as Elspeth looks like she's playing virtual reality, waving her arms around. Yeah, maybe with time you would be able to take this. Maybe if you spent more time with it, you would be able to figure. But as you're doing that, you hear a voice, and it says, "Come to me," very quietly, very faint.
Just a quick clarification. Given my allegiance with the Secrets of the Righteous and given my studies of magic in general, would I recognise that this is Oldenburgite?
I think so. And you would probably have a good idea that it could be used to store power, but exactly how and in which way, I think that's fair to say. Yeah. They might have even seen some of it back in the HQ. But I mean, you knew because it was being used to sustain the carrier of it. But you don't know the connection.
Yeah, just as a clarification that I connect that to the script on the doorway.
Yeah, and then likewise, yeah, definitely. And you just
walk back towards the doorway with the Oldenburgite in hand.
Yeah.
Aye. Again, can't get my snout through here awkwardly. Press up against the door.
Yeah.
These are not built for Dragonborn.
Give me a perception check as you're looking at this door again as you walk down the corridors.
7. I'm gonna bet.
You're looking for a space to slot this or something. You're not quite sure exactly what the connection is. And you look in, and the eyes again turn and follow you, but you're relatively hardened against its effect at this point. The statue is still there. It hasn't moved. Everything is in its place. But there is certainly a leak of power. And this is what's talked to you. This is the voice that you heard. It hasn't come again. But there's clearly some semblance of power that's leaking through it. And the power's connected to this. This is the ward that holds it. But you don't see any way to physically connect the door to this, or it doesn't make sense in terms of some of the runes that you've scrubbed out. It does refer to it everywhere, but you've not been able to... well, actually, you rolled a 21 on that, didn't you, that check? Before you looked in. Runes, So, yeah, I mean, you look... So I think what you do is this is what it is, because you got that 21, so I'm going to use that, and you're looking at the runes again. You go back to a point that you recognise, and you look at this, and something clicks as you look through. This thing is charging. This is charging the magic. This is charging the wards. And although it might be drip feeding over many years, this is the battery that's holding this together. And in order for you to break it, it merely needs not to exist, or potentially be in vicinity. In order for it to be able to reach where it is, and the reason why it was put in such a secure location was so that it wouldn't be removed. And yet here you have it in your hand. And actually, if you wanted to, you could take this away from here. You reason as you're scanning along some of the lines. In fact, it wasn't. You find the bit. It says it was due to be charged every 400 years by the order upstairs. The Everlight Church being charged with doing so. You don't know when it was last done, but yeah, you take it away. Chances are. Yeah, chances are it will no longer be able to power the runes around the room.
I just lean up to the doorway again and go, remember the shedding of Clantona that helped you here. You will be freed. And just to get it out of the way, I'm just going to drop it on the ground and try and smash it with my foot first.
Yeah. Yeah, give me a
Might as well
strength.
give it a try.
Yeah, give me a strength.
17.
Okay. No, I mean it's tougher than that, but you know.
I pick it up and sort of hop on one foot for a little bit and stick it in my pocket and just walk.
Yeah.
Walk back into the main room and grab the Dampier. She's still hallucinating and just drag her out.
And as you make your way up and into daylight, the three of you, you find Saul in the chapel, and he's talking with the. I'm going to say that these guys have all. Hang on, let me just move some of these guys out. They're no longer there. And you're chatting with the sister, Saul. Saul, sister.
I was thinking the same thing.
And yeah, so I don't know what the conversation is as you walk in. What have you been talking about?
He's kind of, I mean, he's suffering from 10%. Some can't got this definite. You're
super cutting out there.
Begin again.
Should we try that again? Now he's kind of stared into this void, hasn't he? He's suffering from some kind of temporary insanity, which has rendered him deaf. But I kind of figure he might actually be. I think maybe he's raving a little bit as he's trying to speak to this sister to explain to her what has happened. He obviously can't get his words out properly. I don't know. He probably can't even hear himself, right? Is that?
That's all. Yeah, can't hear himself.
So he sounds like a madman. Because he is. As he's babbling away and screaming and shouting at the sister, trying to tell her what he's seen, and yeah, it's a bit of a sorry looking figure at the moment, I think.
She knows that you've been down. She listens, and she looks around. I mean, she listens to you and gives you sympathy, and realizes that you can't hear, and she will try and cure you. She will try and heal the physical effects. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she does that, and in that conversation that you have, you are able to your deafness is able to be recovered, but there's still that impact of your sanity is still felt. But yeah, so she reaches forward, realizing what the problem is, and she casts the spell, and she removes that. She removes whatever it was that was causing you. She manages to restore your hearing, and you feel that filtering back, and you can hear the noise, the wind. Again, the white noise comes, and then the wind, and then you can slowly hear her voice just coming back to you, and you see her lips moving, and you're watching as the voice that she's using at you begins to filter back in your ears, and she's saying, has that worked? Can you understand me now? Can you hear me now? Is this working? I've given it my best shot. If it's not this, then I do not know what has happened to you. Please, I hope that the power I have is enough to heal you. Your stories are frightening. Below our chapel, we have perhaps... We must go to the library and investigate, search the text for what this means.
And I think, so Sol calms down. Especially when his hearing starts, without really saying anything, I think he just goes and sits down in a corner of the chapel, sits there quietly, just listening to everything he can around him.
Yeah, maybe the bell rings at that point. You hear the 12 o'clock bell, or
I don't know, maybe there's tears in his eye as well.
Yeah. And then the door opens, you hear that, and Shedden walks in, clutching. You've probably cleared your head as well by this point, Elizabeth. And Shedden is walking around, and you kind of, so you've probably cleared your head as well as you walk into the chapel. What are you guys doing when you walk in?
I'm literally just looking for the captain. He seems to have misplaced him.
You see him sitting in the corner.
I just say, well, we seem to have found the power that we supposed to find.
We are leaving. Captain, we are leaving.
And Sol can't. I don't think he can even look them in the eyes.
So we came here to find some power to report back. We need to report back so they can come and investigate the power.
And the priestess at this point hears you say that. And she looks up and says, "Power? Who are you reporting to?"
You need to know basis.
And she walks up, and she walks past the captain and walks down, and stares at you. Elspeth just stares right into you. Roll me this. Yeah, when you say need to know, roll me deception. I guess she's gonna 16.
Yeah,
maybe an intimidation.
7.
Yeah, so she knows you're lying, and then she says, "I think I do need to know," and she rolls a 13 persuasion. As she looks at you, and she.
Do I have to roll against that?
I mean, you could if you wanted to, or you can just decide it isn't enough to persuade a very strong character to release secrets. I mean, you are the secrets of righteous, so I mean, that's your game.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to tell her.
Yeah,
I'm just going to turn around and look at her and say, "You are not relevant enough to know what we are here to find out. Turn and look at Shedden and say, stare at her.
Use that glowing eye thing.
And stand behind him like that.
I think
I've dropped
you
the
should
emerald
leave.
in my pocket, and as I stare at the priestess, my hands are just starting to crackle with energy.
I think you should leave. I don't know who you're reporting to, but I don't think you have... I've done what I can for your friend, and I thank you for your service, but you are no longer welcome here. Until you are able to be forthright with us, then... Well, I must assume no good will come of it. You report back to whoever it is.
How unfortunate. Come, Captain. We're leaving.
And I think Sol just kind of gets up like an automaton and walks behind them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to leave it, as the crystal is transported off the grounds. What you guys don't...
I just run my hand across the candles at the entrance and just frostbite across all of them.
Excellent. Yeah. I think the last scene as you walk out of there and across the threshold and down into the town back towards the inn is the back in the cell with spiders crawling around the floor. And then one of the spiders climbs up the statue and onto one of its arms, and as it reaches the end of its finger, the spider falls to the floor because part of the statue has cracked, and it's just fallen down, the spider, and it lands and it squashes the spider, and you just see these little bits of rock just ever so slightly crumbling away at the statue as it begins to fall and crumble.